Welcome back. It hasn't been a great year or so for our police force. Crown prosecutors have lost a number of high-profile court cases, and in some instances, police officers have been found to have acted outside the law. In one of the most recent cases involving gangs in Nelson, Justice Simon France ruled the police actions were, and I quote, a fundamental and serious abuse of the court's processes. Well, the Minister in charge of Police is Anne Tolley, who joins me in the studio. Minister, thanks for coming in.
Good morning, Duncan.
Are you concerned about this trend that we're seeing this year?
Well, look, I think you have to put it into context. So the police take about 130,000 prosecutions every year. There have been some fairly high-profile ones, but at the end of the day, we're seeing crime dropping. I think we have probably the best police force in the world. These are brave guys who are out there day in, day out, making sure that they're keeping our communities safe.
But it seems that we've had some big fish on the hook, and even if you include Kim.com in this, and especially Ofcans, this police special unit, their record this year is poor. They haven't landed the fish, if you like. Well,
the ones that hit the media that you mentioned are the ones
big ones, aren't they?
That they have failed. But there's been other ones that have gone through. Look, police assure me that they make every attempt to follow the rules, but in fact, the court is the final arbiter of that. It's the final judgment. And if they've done wrong, they go back, and I expect, and they assure me, that they review their processes.
Is the government disappointed though in the performance of Ofcans and of some of their work in these cases?
Well, look, Ofcans is an organisation that is set up to look at organised crime. That's a really, really important issue for us. I've just come back from an Interpol conference. This is pervading. Organised crime is pervading the world, cross-border, and it's really important that we have a strong organisation.
They failed around Kim.com, didn't they? They failed in their links with the GCSB, the government's spy agency.
Well, the Kim.com case, the extradition, I mean, they're acting under an agreement with the United States. That court case is still to be heard in March, so I don't think you can say they failed.
You don't think there's any need for reform?
Oh, I think, and I've certainly spoken with police about a review of some of the processes, make sure that we get all the I's dotted and all the T's crossed, because these are important cases that they're being taken. It's disappointing to see 21 Red Devils walk out of court not being made to face important charges like drugs and firearms abuses.
What do you want in this review? What do you want to find?
Well, I want to make sure that the correct procedures were followed. Now, the police believed...
Clearly not.
Well, the police believed that they were, and undercover work is really dangerous.
So .com is going to also be part of that review? Because we've got similar issues here.
Well, the .com extradition case, which is the most important part, that goes to trial in March.
Yeah, but will that become also part of this wider review of the performance and what went wrong? Because there were problems.
Each individual one is reviewed.
So yes, it will be involved with that?
Well, I think the police are looking, certainly when the judge ruled that their search warrant wasn't completely correct, then the police went back and had a look and worked with the Crown Law over what it was that they didn't have in place, etc.
OK, I want to look at your funding of police and police numbers and crime. You want offending down by 25% by 2017. Well,
the police target is a reduction in crime of 15% of recorded crime, reduction in violent crime by 20%. Yeah.
And how do you achieve that with effectively less money?
Well, it isn't. We haven't cut anything from the police budget. They just have not getting extra money. And
not getting as much as they were banking on.
Oh, no, I think that's the messages have been pretty clear from government to them, that they had some extra investment to start their policing excellence, which is a whole range of new initiatives. The police are changing dramatically the way that they work, and they are finding some efficiency gains, and they're reinvesting those back into prevention work.
So we're going to have a sort of a lesser growth in frontline officers, though, because of the fact that you've got to keep funding reasonably flat?
What we are getting is more frontline hours. So we've increased the number of frontline police by 300. And
you got rid of backroom staff.
Yeah, there's been a lot of centralisation of some of the functions around HR and finance. That makes good sense. So they're working more efficiently. But actually, some of the policing excellence initiatives, like the use of smartphones and iPads, it means that the frontline police don't have to go back to the station so often, and they've got more hours to be out there preventing crime.
Do you link unemployment and with crime? Increasing unemployment with crime?
Well, it's interesting that because we haven't seen an increase. On quite the reverse, we've seen a decrease. So this year, just on 6% reduction in crime. Last year, a similar reduction. And talking to, as I say, I've just come back from Interpol.
You don't link the two.
There doesn't appear to be a link for an increase in crime during a recession. And that, as I say, talking to other nations, they've seen a similar result.
Greg O'Connor from the Police Association says that he thinks there's $400 million worth of cuts over 4 years. But why do you argue against that? I mean, is he not telling the truth?
Well, I've never heard the first time I heard the figure 400 million was from Greg at his association conference.
Where's he getting it from?
I have no idea. And when I asked the police, they have no idea where he's got the 400 million from. So, you know, my instructions to the Commissioner are he has to work within his budget. Now, they haven't been asked, as many other ministries have been asked, to find extra savings. They have to manage their own budget, and they are doing that. At the same time, I want to see an increase in frontline hours.
So in terms of frontline hours or frontline police?
No, frontline hours.
Correct. So how many more, I'll make this the last question before we go to a break, but how many more frontline police will New Zealand see on the beat next year? The
same. We're maintaining the numbers. But what we're saying is, because of all the changes to the way that they're working, so their resources are much better focused, they're getting use of technology, those same police are able to deliver considerably more frontline policing hours. So we're freeing up them from doing the backroom work. So no new police officers is what you're saying? We're maintaining the numbers.
All right. Police Minister Anne Tolley will pause there, but stay with us. We'll continue our interview with the Minister after the break.